Hi everyone, this video is just to promote the next video that I've nearly finished. A question I've often been asked in my 54 years, believe it, 54 years in the heating industry. And the question is, what's the best control? Because the better the control, the lower your fuel bills are. And the answer is, there isn't one control that's really good for everywhere. It depends on you, your house, the insulation and your lifestyle. So if we go for the top of the range techies, we can now have smart controls. If you'd like to switch your heating on and off from San Francisco or Melbourne, smart controls are for you. Yes, they do cost money from £300 upwards, and the payback period is about 5 years, but you will save some money initially. Not a lot, but you will. But for normal people, you and I, we just need something a little bit better than what was around 20 years ago or even more. So originally, I used to install a clock, either a single channel for a Combi or a 2-channel for a boiler and hot water, and a cylinder thermostat for hot water, and a room thermostat for the central heating. And that's the important one. Our heating bill over those 3 or 4 months costs us an arm and a leg all year long. So it makes sense to make sure that that's the best one that we have. Now, as I said, the worst and most expensive system is a clock somewhere in the house and an analog room thermostat in the hall. The next most expensive is that room thermostat in the lounge. And that's really where it should be, because it's called a room stat. We've all seen that on my videos. Talking about that, behind me you can see various slides of videos that I'd like you to watch before we move on to what we're going to film next, which is called RF Bluetooth control. And that's the latest and the best that we can have with Open Therm. So it's not just an ordinary room thermostat, which is digital, and that's good in its own right. But now we have Open Therm boilers, and have done for years, 20 years I think they've been out in Europe. But installers keep ignoring those 2 terminals, and they're brilliant. I use them in my boiler. I've got an Intergas. All of their boilers are Open Therm compatible, as well as Worcester Bosch, Valent have got their own, Baxi and so on. So have a look at your boiler and check whether it's Open Therm, or if it isn't, then the boiler manufacturer will have their own version. Now, it doesn't have to be a brand new boiler. You can go back maybe 5, maybe 7 years. But if you're not sure and you can't contact the installer, simply phone the boiler manufacturer, give them your model number. If you can, take a photograph of the serial number and then pass that on to technical advice and say, can I have Open Therm? Because George, Mr. Combi, says so, that's the cheapest. Or do you have your own version of this? So please subscribe to my channel and click notifications. Get ready for the next one, because you're going to blow your mind on how much you can save and how easy it is to install. But you have to be a competent person. Therefore, any gas safe engineer can do this job. Any registered electrician can do this job. Who cannot do this job, it's not a DIY. It's not a, oh, let's have a go, it sounds very easy. No. Some of the connections have to go inside the boiler PCB, and only those people are allowed to go in. So it's not a good place to go elsewhere, because you have to do an electrical safety test. And only competent people are equipped with the tools and the knowledge to do that. So this is really important, because if you get it wrong, you'll simply blow up the PCB, and you might possibly have to buy a new boiler for a millisecond of wrong wiring. So please, let me stress, it's not a DIY job. Get it done professionally. Most of them cost between £80 and £90 plus the fitting, which is not going to be an arm and a leg. But please subscribe, as I said, again, And in a couple of weeks time, in mid-April, look out for my video RF Bluetooth controls. And that's absolutely brilliant, and I'm going to show you in my house, in my wife's house, how it can be done and the stages from the beginning to the end. So thanks for watching and take care.